Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hogue, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
I'm AJ Hogue, the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Join my VIP program. Speak English fluently, speak confidently, speak powerfully, speak English effortlessly when you join my VIP program. You commit, you don't quit at effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com. I got a little baby boy behind me. Just woke up from a nap. You okay, little dude? You all right? Mommy will come get you if you need to, okay? All right, so I've been very busy, as you all know, with baby stuff, taking care of my babies. But anyway, I thought I'd do a quick show. I had a little bit of time right now, so we'll do a quick show. We'll do an update. Oh, Mommy's coming to get Mr. Baby. See ya. All right. So, the quick update on our speaking challenge. So I'm going to go right to it now, to our speaking challenge website, which is Challenge Runner, it's called. And let's look. First of all, we have the shadowing challenge. So let's check in on the number of hours on the shadowing challenge. And we have Sven at 168 hours. So this is after about roughly 1 month, right? It's a 3-month challenge. We just finished the first month of February, and we're almost finished with the first week of March even. So it's about 5 weeks. After 5 weeks, it's 168 hours of shadowing by Sven. Saif has 162 hours. Alexander Belyakov, 154 hours. Michel Gerbe, is it? 121. These are all great numbers, guys. Vladimir Medvedev, 88. From Poland, Katarzyna, 83. Slavika, there's a familiar name, very familiar name. 82 hours. Farokh, 76. Julia Takita, 75. And to complete the top 10, Serene Feng at 59. That is quite impressive. So let me think. That's 28, 29 actually. That's about 35 days. So that's very impressive, guys. I mean, to be doing that much shadowing is impressive. I mean, most of these people then are doing over 2 hours of shadowing a day. So very, very, very impressive. Good job, everybody. Let's get into conversation now. That's when you actually have to talk to somebody. That's the number of hours actually talking to someone. A real person. All right, and here we go again. Alexander Belyakov at 158 hours. Nice. Sven at 158 hours also. Slavika, wow, way up there, 115 hours. These are big hours of talking, so you guys must have some very active groups. Either you know people who speak English or you're talking to each other online. I know, like, for example, Slavika is talking online as part of a very active group. Arzan has 88 hours of talking, conversation. Zobade, 87. Another person I know is very active. Adam Baki at 78. Nice. Asma at 64. Great. Ibrahim Ali at 63. I think several of these people are in the same group, a conversation group online, which is great. Ibrahim Ali at 63 hours. Serene Feng at 62 hours. And Sarah SMKO at 53 hours. Again, that's a lot of hours of talking every day, of conversation. It's really, really, really fantastic. And, you know, what's really great about this one, the conversation one, I know on Gab, Slavika and a few others, Ibrahim Ali and a few others have commented how they really just love this part of the challenge, the conversation one, because they're making friends. They're getting to know each other. You know, they're talking to each other many hours every week, you know, a couple hours a day, maybe even. And so really developing some friendships, some connections with people around the world. That's fantastic. It's kind of an extra benefit. Of course, we're doing this for English, for you all to improve your English. But I'd say an extra benefit, maybe even the best benefit, is that many of you are making friends with people in different parts of the world. And I know from the past in Effortless English with our communities, in the VIP program, for example, that people have made friends around the world with other members, other fans of Effortless English. And I know that many times you'll travel, you'll go traveling, you'll take a vacation somewhere. And what's really cool is when you do that, you can go somewhere where you know somebody, right? Like, let's imagine you're in the group and, you become friends with Carol in France. So you go take a vacation to France with your family, and now you know a French person, and, you can meet up with Carol, someone you already know. I have a friend there. It's really nice when you travel somewhere, if you know someone locally. I find for me, the travel experience is much better, much deeper, much more interesting and enjoyable when you can meet someone there, when you have a friend or a connection of, in that country. It's very, very nice. So that's, even if you haven't been doing the conversation challenge yet, even if your conversation ability is not very good, even if you're mostly focused on the shadowing, I do encourage you, try to get into a conversation group on Gab. Try to meet other members, because even if your English is not great, you can still make that connection with other people in other parts of the world. And then who knows, someday maybe you will meet them and visit their country, and they can show you around. It's very, very nice. Or the other thing that's also very nice is when they visit you, right? And I've had this experience in Osaka now already several times, where Effortless English members will take a vacation with their families. They come to Japan for a vacation, and they know I'm in Osaka, so they contact me on Gab, and I usually meet them for coffee. So we'll meet for coffee in Osaka, and I get to chat with them for a few hours. It's very, very nice. Very, very nice for me. I enjoy that. I always love meeting you all when you visit Japan, you visit Osaka. It's great. And hopefully they enjoyed meeting me too. And on the other side, when I have traveled, so for example, I've been to Spain. We've had VIP social events in Spain a few times, Barcelona, and that's super fantastic. So I have, of course, there's Oscar and Georgiana who live in Barcelona, but they're also, just meeting people from Europe who have come to Barcelona, and we do some sightseeing in Barcelona and meet each other and go to lunch, go to dinner together. It's really, 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 really great. And so I try to do this whenever I travel. When I've traveled to Bangkok, I've met Thai members, and when I've gone to other countries, it's really nice. And you can do this too. This is one of the very nice things about learning English, because it does open up connections around the world. You can communicate with people all around the world, because all around the world people are learning English, right? In every country in the world, there are a lot of English learners. So this is a great opportunity. And Effortless English members are very, very nice, very kind. So please do this. Please do this just for the social benefits, just for the enjoyment. Because, that's why we're doing this, right? I think it will help your motivation too with English. Because sometimes just the vocabulary, just the listening, sometimes you get tired of it. But when you actually are meeting people, it can be very exciting that you're making connections, you're making friends with people, and you're doing it with English. It can be very motivating for your English learning to do that. So thank you for everyone on Gab who has shared those great experiences. Congratulations. Everyone's doing a very good job. And keep going. We still have 2 more months, March and April. We still have 2 more months for this challenge. So there's still a lot of opportunity to do the shadowing, and especially to do the conversation. Just do as many hours as you can. But even just a little bit, even an hour a week, will give you a chance to meet other people and connect with other people. And finally, that's why you're doing it, right? So good luck to you. All right, I'm going to check in now on our comments and questions live here on YouTube. Vladislav, good to see you. And another note, by the way, I know you've noticed that I've been absent quite a lot recently, and just again, it's because of my baby. My baby boy has some physical issues, and we're having to do a lot of therapy. I've just finished a really great course, and we've now got a very good and kind of busy plan with him. So I'm doing stuff with him all day, right? All through the day. My wife and I both are. And of course with our daughter too, because he's a twin. So we have twin babies. So anyway, I've been very, very busy trying to learn all this and get it going. I have to be quite organized through the day. It's just, and having twin babies, 1 year old, is also challenging. So I've just needed, I have needed and probably will need just a little more time to get used to this new schedule, and then I'll be able to do more shows again. I'm not leaving you guys. I'm doing I'm doing the best I can, and don't worry, we'll get back to doing more shows more often and more consistently. Especially as the babies get a little older, as the therapy starts to get more organized and I get used to it, I have a clear schedule. Connected to that, I have invited, I've mentioned already, Dolman International is the group I've been working with our son, and we're already seeing some very nice results with him, so it's working. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed by the work they do, Dolman International, and I have already asked them to do hopefully a couple interviews on my show. I'll be interviewing a couple of them about different topics, so hopefully we'll get them on the show soon. All right, I'm just going to jump down to the bottom of the comments and maybe kind of work my way backwards a little bit. Oh, Catalan says, okay, I only have a chance to practice with you, like the mini stories. I think it's not enough. It's enough. It's enough to improve your English, okay? You can, listening is the big thing. Listening is number one for speaking, shadowing. The thing you can do, most of what you need to do to improve, you can do by yourself alone. But for making friendships and connections, obviously then you need to talk to people. And that's what by the way, when you're doing these conversations, when you're talking to other people, please, in your conversation groups, don't worry about the English, okay? You don't need to worry about making mistakes. You don't need to think about grammar. You don't need to worry about vocabulary. Oh, I can't remember the right word. Okay, just relax about all that stuff. Just talk to them. Just do your best and focus on the connection, focus on the topics, focus on the relationship, on the friendship, just like you would in your own language, okay? Let the English come out as best you can, okay? Your improvement in terms of your vocabulary and all these other things, that's mostly from what you're doing alone. Primarily listening and reading, maybe a bit of shadowing. Okay, the conversation is where you're getting to use what you have to connect with people, okay? So don't make the connection part, don't make the conversation part stressful by worrying about your English. Just forget about it and just talk and listen. Yeah, great. Selana Khan says, we're all struggling to push ourselves to be better and better. We all hesitate. We're afraid to do the first step. But this challenge pushes me to take actions. Yes, great. It's often just the first step where you're nervous, right? And there's a lot of unknown, right? The unknown. It's often the fear or the worry about what is unknown that is the worst. And once you take the first step, you realize that a lot of the fears or a lot of the worries are not real. Or even if they are, now you understand them better. And so you just go forward and it's much easier after that. I see this even with our boy, right? Like our son that I was very, very worried about him. Now I understand what's going on. Now I have a plan to help him. So I'm much less nervous about it now. It was the unknown that was really the scary part. Because in the unknown, then you imagine the worst, right? We all kind of can imagine all these terrible things that will never happen. Olga says, I saw you in my dream today and ask you to translate some words that I don't know. The dream translator. Funny. Yeah, okay, Ryan. See, this is all normal, guys. Ryan says, sometimes I feel self-conscious, but I try not to be shy. Right. I mean, again, it's normal to feel worried about it. It's normal to feel a little shy. But the more you do it, the less shy you will become. Especially if you're talking to the same group of people. That's the other nice thing. If you have a group, if you form a group in Gab and you all talk in Skype or whatever, WhatsApp, whatever you use, yeah, in the beginning, everybody's a little nervous maybe, but then, after a few times talking, you relax, you get to know each other more, the shyness kind of disappears, and then you can really relax, and you might find your speaking improves the more you relax. I'm not sure if I know, Renas says, I'm in Australia. I applied for USQ here in Australia. I don't know what that is. What is USQ? I failed the grammar test. They didn't accept me. What should I do? It also depends what kind of, what are they testing you on in terms of grammar? Right? Are they testing you on the linguistic terms, like asking you questions about, what is the present perfect and what is the, what are blah, 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 whatever. If that's the case, which sucks, but if you have to pass this test, then you will have to learn those terms and you're going to have to understand them a bit better. So you might have to buy a grammar book and memorize these things. It won't help your speaking, but to pass the test, you might need to do that. Sometimes we have to do these things, even though we know they're not very helpful, just because we need to pass some test or we need to get some piece of paper or some diploma, right? We're being forced to do this sometimes. But if I don't know what USQ is, but if you need to do it, then maybe you have to do that. Get a grammar book and just memorize it, even though it's not helpful because you need it. So that's my best advice for that. I know it's not fun. Here's an extremely long profile name. What is this? A viridescently lycanthrope. Viridescent lycanthrope. Interesting. Hi, Jay. I finally managed to see The Legend on YouTube. Thank you. It's very nice. Thanks. Morteza, and I know people sometimes ask here on YouTube about, looking for people to practice talking to, but you usually don't get good luck on YouTube comments, okay? That's why I don't even do comments on YouTube. I don't answer them, as you probably know. Go to Gab. Go to my Gab, gab.com/AJ Hogue. Follow me on Gab, and you're going to meet more Effortless English members. That's the better place to meet other people, is on Gab. What do you think about the coronavirus? I'm okay. Take extra vitamin D and C. You'll be all right. Oh, here's nice. Wow, this is nice from, oh boy, my pronunciation of Vietnamese is terrible, but I'll just say Phong Nguyen. The other day, I talked to a native speaker. After 2 hours of talking, he said my listening and speaking skills were very good. Thanks to your method, I'll keep learning until I achieve the high level of English. Well, very nice. I'd say you already have achieved a quite good level of English if you're talking 2 hours to a native speaker. So excellent, and congratulations to you. Very nice. Have I ever traveled to Vietnam? Yes. 3 or 4 times. 4 times. I've been to Vietnam 4 times. And I will come back. Just a little busy right now. I've been invited to come back. By Passel, the company I usually work with in Vietnam, but it's just they want me to come now. They want me to come this year, and it's just because of my babies that I can't really do it right now. So I do plan to go back. Dalal says, I hope I'll meet you someday in Osaka. I hope so too, Dalal. I'd love to meet you in Osaka. So if any of you all take a vacation to Japan, plan a day or two in Osaka, and I'll meet you for coffee. Okay, and this is also fine. Nagwa says, I did 38 hours for shadowing, which is very good. I really don't like talking to someone I don't know. I'll shadow only. That's also fine. If you prefer, you're just not interested in that, just do the shadowing. It's okay. If you prefer face-to-face, you want to talk to people you actually know, you feel weird about the internet stuff. Some people do, and that's okay. So just focus on the shadowing like Nagwa here, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's one reason we have the two challenges. So you can focus on one or focus on the other. It's up to you. Babies. Okay. Ooh, okay, they're coming in fast. Sorry, guys. Cesar, with a very good question. Is there any way you can have a schedule for your live videos? I know you're busy with the twins. Me being a father of twin girls myself, I know it's double trouble. Yes, indeed. That's the problem, guys. I had a schedule until the last few months, right? As you know, especially when the babies were a little younger. As little babies, they just kind of eat and sleep, right? So it was actually a little easier to have a schedule with them. They were more predictable. But now they're getting almost 1 year old, and they're running around. Well, one of them's running around. The other one's crawling around. And they're getting much more active. And now I've got all this new therapy stuff to do. And so it's a lot harder to predict, like have a regular time every day to do it. It's a little hard right now. The schedule's kind of, we say in flux. When something's in flux, it means it's changing very quickly. So kind of day to day, we have a general schedule, but day to day, it's kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. And right now, because their sleep schedules are different, we have the babies sleeping in different rooms. So I sleep in this is my office here, and me and our boy sleep here in the office. So this is kind of where his bed is. So I can't do a show when he's sleeping. It'll wake him up. So this is another problem. And we have a very small apartment. So anyway, these are just some things that right now it's in flux, changing. It's hard for me to be consistent with the schedule. And I apologize. I know it would be better. But I will get back to a schedule again. As I said, there's a lot to do with all this, with this program we're doing with our son. Even the girls were doing some of the stuff with her. So as we get used to it and we get it into a schedule more, we get them kind of on a more regular schedule with eating and things, then I think I'll be back. I can get a regular show time again. Because this is another issue, is their food. Before they were only doing, just milk. But now they're moving to regular food, but they can't really eat full meals yet. So they just kind of eat whenever. It's hard to predict, and there are two of them. They always want to eat at different times, and they want to do everything at different times. So I'll be back on a regular schedule. I probably need a couple more months. I'm hoping as we get into the spring here in Japan and closer to the summer, that everything will settle down again, and I can get back on a normal daily schedule with the show, with the podcast. That's my goal. So Cesar, I understand the frustration. Please, you all, just be patient with me. Cloudy Bird says, "Hi Jay, you're an honorable teacher. Thank you. You're my idol, and now every day I watch your videos. Thank you." Well, that's very nice. It's very kind. Thank you. Oh, this is cool. Olga Dan says, I put myself into the speaking challenge for the first time in my life. Excellent. And I even started my own YouTube channel. So excited. That is great. That's really cool. You can do that too. You could do a YouTube channel or a podcast or something in English. Great. Good for you. And several people saying that they're nervous speaking to other people, and it's okay. It's understandable. Don't feel bad. And Sacha's asking, do you have a schedule or do you go randomly on your show? Right now it's kind of random. Okay. I will get back to, I want to do a schedule again. Just again, give me some time. Okay, there's a common question I've answered many times, but I'll answer it again from Chaidu Singh. What kind of books should I read to write better in English? Do easy novels help? Yes, easy novels. That's a great choice. Read a lot of them. Excellent. The lycanthrope profile again says, I want to have facial hair like you. Right now I have a fairly big beard. Can you help me? Well, I don't know. Just don't shave. It's not related to English. I don't know. This is in the winter. The last few years in the winter, I've kind of just, I don't know, it keeps my face warm. Plus, I get a little lazy in the winter. So I just stopped shaving. I plan to shave in the next couple weeks. When spring gets close. Spring's coming. My birthday's coming. So I'll probably shave in about, I don't know, within the next 2 weeks. Because this gets hot in this, when the weather gets warm, it gets kind of a little hot and itchy. But in the winter, it's great. It keeps my face warm. This is a very good question. Again, about Vladislav asking about the coronavirus. What's the situation with the coronavirus in Japan? What do you think about this virus? So far, I know there have been, people in Japan are being very careful about it. Lots of people wearing masks. I know there have been a few, there have been some people getting it. It's not like a massive outbreak or anything yet. What do I think about it? I just don't know. That's just have to be the honest truth about it, because I've read so much different information online, and it is really hard to know. I think we're getting a lot of lies in the media about it, but are they lying to make it sound worse than it actually is? Are they lying to make it sound better than it actually is? I'm not sure. All the information coming out of China is bullshit. We know that. We're getting no good information. The media in America is going crazy with it. We know the media in America lies like crazy. Governments lie. I don't know. That's just the honest truth. I have no idea. Is it a horrible thing that's going to kill millions, or is it just basically a normal flu and they're just trying to scare us? I'm not sure. I can't say. So here's what I say. The only thing you can do what you can control. So I'm focusing on what I can control. I can't control all that stuff. But what I can control is my own and my family's health and immune system, right? Boost up, strengthen your immune system. That's the best thing you can do. If it's just a normal flu, it's not really a big deal. Well, then having a strong immune system, strong body is still good. And if it is some terrible thing, well, then it's going to overwhelm the hospitals. You may not be able to get medical help if it really is some horrible thing. So again, build up your immune system. How do you build up your immune system? Of course, eating healthy and exercising, that kind of stuff. But you can also do some fairly large amounts of vitamin C every day. And you can do fairly large amounts of vitamin D and K. You have to do D and K together. D3 specifically. Vitamin D3 plus vitamin K, vitamin K2, okay, if you want to be very specific. All right, vitamin D3 and K2, always take them together. So anyway, you can do vitamin D3 and K2, take fairly big amounts each day. You should research this on your own. I'm not going to tell you amounts. I'm not giving medical advice, okay? It's very general. Do research about this on your own for more detailed information. And then vitamin C is super safe. You can do giant amounts of vitamin C. It won't hurt you. So huge amounts of vitamin C are fine. If you start feeling yourself getting sick, getting the flu, then increase the amounts of both of those, or all three of those. And again, like you said, you can do other things. Fasting is really good for your immune system, for healing. And when you're sick, even dry fasting can be helpful. But even just plain, the saltwater fasting. Okay, so you have these things. They're all cheap or free. Fasting's free. Vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin K2, D3 and K2. They're all very cheap. So these are very cheap, natural things you can do to keep your immune system and your body very, very strong and not need doctors. So whatever happens, if it's some terrible thing or if it's really nothing, it doesn't matter. You're still in good shape. Your health is healthy as you can be. So focus on that. Don't be afraid. Focus on what you can control, which is your own health and, of course, your families and your children too. Is there an Effortless English book at the National Bookstore here in the Philippines? I don't know. I know online, the online sellers have my book. I don't know specifically the Philippines. I don't know. Okay, a couple more and I'm going to go. Oh, great. Dalal says, I'm reading The Hobbit and following your explanation. It makes it easier to understand. Thank you. Yes, hopefully we'll do The Hobbit. We'll move on to the next chapter of The Hobbit tomorrow. So we will do our book club tomorrow. I'm planning to do it. Please, babies, let me do it. So we'll try to do our book club. And if we're really lucky, I'll do the movie club again on Sunday and continue with Jerry Maguire. We'll eventually finish Jerry Maguire. It's just taking a long time. Sandu says, it's first time watching you live on YouTube. I'm from Vietnam. I live in Saigon now. It's great to welcome you and your fans to visit our country. I can be your free local guide. Well, good. I hope to meet you next time I visit Saigon. I like Saigon. I like the South. The first 3 times I went to Vietnam, I always went to the North. But this last time, I finally went to the South, just Saigon, but I like Saigon. Saigon to me feels more, obviously it's more tropical, and it reminds me a little more of like Cambodia and Thailand, and anyway, I really like it. Oh, Scott, yeah, okay, Scott, message me on Gab, and we'll talk about the weekend art show. It sounds cool. Yes, I can still interview you about it and help you get started with that. So just contact me on Gab. And just be patient. Everybody. Okay, if you send me a comment on Gab or something, it might take me a week to get back to you right now. Okay? So just be patient. Maybe remind me a week later if you need to, but I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just busy with the babies. Okay, so here's a good advice from Ken. Ken NT says, my own experience to get fluent is answering mini stories and shadowing them every single day for 3 times, morning, afternoon, and evening. Now I respond quickly to the questions. That's very, very, very good advice. That's a great system for using the lessons. Okay, so focusing especially on the mini stories for shadowing. Do all the lessons, but when you're shadowing, I think I agree with Ken, the mini stories are probably the best ones for shadowing. And do it 3 times a day. It's a great idea. It's a good system. Thanks, Ken. Wow. Arteloff Jason says, I've listened to all your audio shows on my podcast from 2006 in a year. So in other words, this year, in 1 year, listened to all my shows starting in 2006, which is when I started. So thanks a lot. What can I do to improve my own English class? That's really cool, man. Wow. That's a lot of podcasts in 1 year. Improve my own English class. So does that mean you're a teacher? You're teaching English? If so, my advice for teachers is get Blaine Ray's book, TPR Storytelling. TPR Storytelling. Get that book because it really describes the method of TPRS, which is kind of the foundation, right? The center, especially for in-class teaching, teaching face-to-face with people in a classroom. I think it's the best method. You can also do TPR, total physical response, with especially low beginners, with those really low beginner classes. TPR is quite effective. There's one called Instructor's Notebook, and the author's name, is it Romero? I can't remember his first name. Last name is Garcia. That's very good for TPR only. That's teaching with actions and physical actions and things. Also very good, especially for beginners. You can use it for more advanced, but for beginners especially. But then the storytelling, Blaine Ray, TPR Storytelling. And then finally, Tools for Teaching by Fred Jones. That's for discipline. If you're teaching, well, even with adults. I was going to say if you're teaching kids, especially if you're teaching kids, you must get that Fred Jones book, Tools for Teaching. It's very, very good. If you're a parent, get that book, Tools for Teaching, because it's very good about discipline in a very effective, kind, but effective and strong way. It's a good blend of those two. And but even with adults, I found it useful teaching adults. I was teaching young adults when I was before Effortless English. I was teaching young adults, college age, mid-20s, and even then that book helped me. Tools for Teaching. So those 3 books would be a great place for any teacher to start. If you're teaching language, if you're teaching English, then get those 3 books. What's the most really important thing in language learning? Learning English says sit discussion, listening, huge amounts of listening and reading. Listening and reading. I'll have to combine those two. It's 2 things I know, but input. Okay, if you want me to say one word, input is what's most important. Yeah, see, a lot of stuff, getting back to the coronavirus, this is where it's so confusing. This is why it's so hard, because when situations like this coronavirus thing is where we know we're being lied to, but the problem is, how are they lying, right? What's this? It's very hard to figure out, right? So Ladosov says the Russian media seems to lie that the coronavirus is better than it really is. According to official media, only 7 Russian citizens are infected, but opposition politicians say there are more, right? So which one? They're probably both lying. This is the problem, right? The opposition politicians are also liars. So who's telling the truth? What's the real truth? We really don't know. We don't know, right? Because it's the same thing you see in America, where this is right away you can see that there's something weird with it, because it's being used for politics. If it was just a normal disease, it seems like everyone would kind of be agreeing, right? But you'll see the same thing where certain political groups in America are saying, oh, it's not that bad. And then other political groups are trying to make it sound like it's the end of the world. So they're all lying, or and how they're lying, I don't know. Keep yourself healthy. That's good advice all the time anyway. That's the thing. You can control that. Keep yourself as healthy as possible. Maybe now's a good time to do some research. Not about coronavirus specifically, but just about how do you keep a strong immune system so you don't get sick. So you resist not only that virus, but any virus or any bacterial infection at all. How do you keep your body strong? Some people have mentioned cold therapy. People do the Wim Hof. That's a good one too. I know there's some very good research about that for boosting up the immune system and many other benefits. So, like I said, there are a few basic vitamins. Vitamin C and vitamin D3 with K2 are very powerful. You have to take enough, but if you take fairly large amounts of those two, really makes your immune system much stronger. Reducing stress helps your immune system. Exercise helps your immune system. Of course, eating healthy foods, avoiding junk also helps. So all of these things, right? And if you do them all, you combine them all, you make your body quite strong. And then just in general, you find you won't get sick. In general, you won't get sick. You'll find each year everybody else is getting a cold and you never get it. So that's fasting. I almost forgot fasting. Again, I should mention that again. That's a huge one. Fasting. Very, very, very powerful for your immune system. Fasting. Regular fasting. So just now, just use, maybe we can use, instead of fear, just use the coronavirus as a little bit of motivation to create some of these habits that will keep your immune system, keep your body quite strong. So you will resist any kind of infection all the time. And then what's the reality of the coronavirus? I don't know. Momolon says, is Spanish difficult to learn if compared to your sight? I'm not sure what that second word is. Which one is harder compared to what? I'm not sure what you're asking. Oh, English. Compared to English or Spanish? I don't know what your native language is, but probably Spanish is easier. Spanish is a more consistent language. Like, for example, the spelling in Spanish is very simple, very, very consistent in Spanish. Spanish pronunciation is actually quite simple compared to English, right? There are fewer sounds, fewer vowel sounds. So overall, I would say Spanish is probably an easier language to learn. If both English and Spanish are foreign languages for you, Spanish would probably be easier. I would think the one challenge for Spanish is I won't say all, but many Spanish speakers do in fact speak very fast. Very fast. Now, I know we always think it sounds fast, right? When we learn a foreign language, they all sound fast. But Spanish, they speak really fast. Some people can speak that language super fast. But still, I would say Spanish is an easier language overall. Do you have to be Hindu to understand the message of the Bhagavad Gita? Definitely not. Read it. Read the Gita. It's powerful. Powerful. Yeah, like the virus is good. I agree with this comment. Huang says, the virus is good because students don't have to go to school. Right. See, maybe it will be motivation to homeschool, right? If that happens, then thank you to the coronavirus. Excellent. That would be a great result. All right, guys, I'm going to go take care of babies. So it's good talking to you all. As always, join my VAP program, Commit, Don't Quit, at effortlessenglishclub.com. And tomorrow, The Hobbit. Keep reading The Hobbit. We'll do the next chapter tomorrow. A lot of love to you. Bye for now.